Bias is a perennial feature of elections in Nigeria over the years. It happens across 3 stages of electoral cycle before, during and after election day. Due to political violence, many Nigerians, old and young, men and women have lost their lives, with properties worth billions of naira destroyed at all categories of election in the country. In a view to prevent indices of violence in the 2023 general elections, the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel Working Group on Women, Youth, Peace and Security Nigeria chapter has organized a town hall dialogue of women and youths with the focus on 2023 general election in perspective. The goal of the dialogue was to engage all critical stakeholders in the electoral system, most especially the party flag bearers, in an open conversation and a platform to share ideas and experience with one another. Speaking with the newsmen at the dialogue, the coordinator, the country representative of the Working Group on Women, Youth, Peace and Security in Nigeria, Dr. Lydia Human, explained that the dialogue is significant to find out the preparedness and readiness of each candidate in having good governance in Nigeria.
The focus is to provide a platform where people can interact, particularly with those that are candidates that are contesting elections. We want to find out from them firsthand, because they've been going into the field. But that is not the end of it, not just to find out about their challenges and what prospects they can see for Nigerian women and youths, because that's our focus, women and youths, but also to find out from them what they think they have going forward in terms of proper governance. What is it that will make Nigerians get the kind of governance that they desire, and not just the issue of campaigns just saying we will do this, we will do that. We needed to hear concretely from them, and but we have zeroed in all the discussion on peace and security, because like I was saying lastly, there's a strong connection between good governance or bad governance and insecurity.
It's about sharing the women and youth perspective as to what they think about the election, and also get a feedback from the candidates themselves and the political party to know what they are doing to counter hate speech, to counter election violence that is going on, attacks on INEC and opponents. So those are the issues we are addressing today, and we do hope that by the end of the day we will be able to have a uniform position that we are going to tell the INEC, the political parties and the candidate to conduct themselves in a most respectable manner, just so that we have a peaceful Nigeria after the election. We need youths to go and cast their votes. Time for apathy is gone. We've seen the worst of things. This is the time to act. If you've not been acting before, go and act. Thereafter, those that go into political offices, we should be ready to hold them accountable, because leaders all around the world, they are not charity givers. Sometimes we need to put pressure upon them for them to do the right thing. We should not think that we've elected or appointed somebody on the basis of merit or other mundane reasons, and the person is going to do well. It goes beyond that, because the system itself is structured in such a way that certain obstacles limit what people want to do. You may have a good conscience, but if the system around you is strangulating your good conscience, you may not be able to implement any reasonable program. Therefore, it is incumbent on the young people, as well as all voters, including women, people living with disability, as well as men, to be able to hold the leaders accountable, through pressure groups, activism, and all of that. From time to time, our voices need to be heard in the media, and also when it means to picket, we have to picket in the most peaceful manner to make sure that we get the result that we want from our leaders.
Other speaker lauded the organizer of the town hall dialogue as they described it as a right thing at the right time, while enjoining Nigerians to embrace peace at the poll.
Platform is important because it's actually bringing two critical stakeholders together the youth and the women, which constitute majority of our population and also majority of those that will vote. So it's important to sit with them to brainstorm on these issues of security. What role can the women and youth play to ensure that we have a peaceful election, a credible election, an inclusive election that will guarantee and sustain our democracy? Because of patriarchal nature of many society, because of discriminatory cultural practices, women are excluded in peace building processes, especially at the formal setting. So this resolution is saying, look, for us to have sustainable peace, we cannot but carry women along because they have potentials and they are the majority of those that suffer from violent conflict. So it's important that we ensure that their voices are brought into the table when it comes to peace processes, mediation and reconciliation.
Election can be held and it can impact women and youth negatively. For example, if it's not qualitative election, if the candidates that emerge are not good people, that have the interests of the young people and the women at heart. So I think this kind of dialogue should be more frequent so that we can be able to get, so that the population, the electorate can be able to see candidates, assess them personally and be able to take a decision. This is the person I want to go with, or that is the person I want to go with.
In this forthcoming election, it is for every young person, it is for every woman to look at the candidate that has their agenda, that represents them, not just because of his age, but that represents them by vision. And that's what the focus of the town hall is, which is my major takeaway.
Okay. This town hall meeting has actually been very enlightening. It has actually encouraged and propelled a lot of people to please come out and vote in the most peaceful manner in order for us to have peaceful coexistence, because after the election we will still be brothers, sisters and neighbors.
The UN Women are known for identifying the need for them to have this kind of town hall meeting in order to sensitize the strategic stakeholders on the need to go back and enlighten the electorate on the need to adopt all approaches that will ensure we have a peaceful and free election. For me, or for us in APC, I would say that our focus is to ensure that we have an election that is devoid of chaos, an election that is devoid of crisis, an election that is devoid of violence. Why? Because we know we have the capacity, we know we have what it takes to win the election. So there's no need, there's no reason for us to engage in violence. Most times people adopt violence as a way to, when they feel they are on the losing side, so they adopt violence in a way to, emphasize, their misconception or emphasize their own grievance. So for us, we don't have a reason to do that. So we appeal for all stakeholders, for other political parties, to ensure that the will of the people, come into reality. People must be allowed to come out on the election day to vote, to cast their vote, to exercise their franchise.
The highlight of the town hall dialogue was the interactive sessions, which enabled some party representatives and candidates to explain their manifestos and blueprint of their party to the number of women and youths in attendance.